All right, let's see here. All right, we'll get started with a warm-up. You guys know the drill, so we'll get marching first. So we'll bring our arms up to our legs up to our arms. Get that heart rate up. Warm those muscles up. Good, now while we're marching, let's do our arm circles. Make them big at first. Good, backwards with your arms. Good, little arm circles. And reverse. Good, let's do our side step. So we'll step to the left, to the right. You can pump those arms. Good, now let's bring the arms overhead. So I'm going from my ears, up above and back down. Kind of like you're doing a shoulder press. Good, you can bring the arms down. Now we'll go step forward, step back. Almost like you're doing a dance. Good, you can move your arms. Do some arm circles while we're doing it. Good. And reverse the arm circles. Keep going. Good, all right, we're all warmed up. I forgot to say we're gonna use a pillow again today, so, or whatever you've been using. If you've been using those books or a blanket rolled up, we'll work on this first. So I have my pillow here. I'm gonna put it horizontally, depending on the shape of whatever you're using. And then we're just gonna do our toe taps. So that same thing, nice and light. Tap the pillow, switch legs. Trying to step on the bug, but not kill it. So really light, working on balancing on one leg and clearing your foot over the pillow, just like we would on a curb or a stair. And you want to make sure you're keeping your weight mostly in your heel on the leg that is still on the ground. You can use those toes to anchor yourself, but you want your weight to be back. And slower the better, and the harder it is. And as you guys do this on your own or going forward, if it starts to get too easy, you can make it a little bit of a higher step. Or you can try to not look at your feet, which I'm doing right now. So if you look up and not focus on your feet, does your toe actually clear that pillow? Keeping your belly nice and tight, standing up with good posture. And try to keep that gaze of your eyes looking forward. I know it's hard to not look at your feet. I keep glancing down, but you have to trust that your feet will do their job. We have that chair there next to us if you feel slightly unstable. I have to tap it every once in a while. Good, all right. I'm gonna turn my pillow vertically, whatever you're using. We're just gonna do our lateral stepping now. Still have that chair in reach if you need it. I'm gonna turn mine this way just so it's a little easier. I'm gonna start to the left side of the pillow, and I'm gonna clear that with my foot and step back over. Have something in reach, just in case you get a little off balance. Trying to clear that foot over that pillow. Working on standing on one leg. Same thing, try to distribute your weight through your feet. More in the heels, but you're gonna need to use your toes. Standing up nice and tall. This lateral movement can be a little bit more challenging than the forward movement. Good, you guys are doing well. We'll do a few more of these. Good, let's get that pillow out of the way. All right, next step for our balance, our favorite. We're gonna do tandem stands, so right foot in front of the left, keep that chair nearby in case you need to grab onto it. At this point, since you guys have been doing this for a few weeks now, this may start to get a little bit easy, some modifications. If it's too easy, as you guys know, you can close your eyes, just make sure your hand is hovering over that chair. Kind of challenge both systems. With your eyes closed, if it feels hard enough, keep them open. Make sure you're standing up nice and tall, use that core to stabilize. You can squeeze with your glute muscles. Help us stand nice and upright with a narrow base of support. Good, let's switch, other foot in front. Same thing here, legs nice and straight. Nice job, guys. Good, we can come out of that one. Let's do our single leg stance. So we'll start on our right leg. I'm gonna keep the chair to my side. If you prefer it in front, that's fine. But we're gonna try to balance on just that right leg. Keeping your weight through your heel. I use my toes to help me grab onto the floor when I feel a little unstable. I usually feel this mostly in my glute and hamstring of the leg that is on the ground. You might start to feel it in your hips or your hip on the side that your leg is up on, which is fine. But we're challenging that balance and challenging those muscles, which is good. Good, let's switch, other foot. So my right foot's up in the air, stabilizing with my left leg. Same thing, weight through the heel. Pull that belly in nice and tight. We always need to use our core for all of these good balance exercises. Try to think about using that quad muscle right there to stabilize your knee. So the joint isn't doing all the work, but your muscles are. Very good, bring that down. All right, next we'll do one of the more challenging ones. So I'm gonna put the chair in front of me. We're gonna do standing on one leg. So I'm gonna stand on my right leg. Use my left hand on the chair, and we're gonna do our clock motion. So right arm out in front, eyes follow the hand as far back as you feel comfortable. and then come back to the middle. Good. So we're challenging both systems again. Our balance and our vestibular system, turning our head, changing where our eyes are looking. As you guys know, it's sometimes easier to stare at one spot and balance, so this makes it a little harder. And we still have that chair there to help us. We don't want all our weight to be through our hand. We just want it there to help us if we need it to stay stable. But your legs should be doing most of the work. Good, let's switch. Other leg on the ground. Same arm on that side out in front. And twist. If you have any shoulder or back issues that hurt when you twist, don't go as far back. You can just go to 9 o'clock. Good. Make sure those eyes are following that hand. I'm trying to cheat a little bit. Good, all right, we'll stop with that one. Next, we're gonna do our weight shifting. So I think we've done this a few times before, but we're gonna keep our stance wide. So I'll move the chair, you can see my legs. So your feet are gonna be a little bit wider than your hips. We're gonna put all our weight, make sure you have your chair to hold on to, all your weight on your left and bring that right foot up. And then switch, good. You can have a little bend in the knees if you need to, that's okay. Good, so we're working on shifting that weight. Good. Feel a little off balance, which is okay. That's kind of the point, is to challenge it. Just make sure that chair is within reach. Good. Just take a few seconds to hold it on each side. Might start to feel it on the inside of your legs a little bit. Good. Just a few more. Good, all right. Next, we'll just work on a little bit of strengthening. So we'll do our kicks. We'll start kicking out in front. So not a big one, just a little tiny kick out in front and then come right back. Work on using this leg to stabilize. So we're on one leg again, pulling our belly in nice and tight, squeezing this quad muscle here. Good. This is a good one to do. You can do it at your kitchen counter. You can do it while you're cooking. Get a little activity in throughout the day. You want your weight again to be heavy in the heel of my left leg that's on the ground right now. Squeezing through your glute muscle to stabilize. Good, let's switch legs. Same thing, up nice and tall, core. Think about pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Make sure you still breathe while you're doing it. That's an important part too. Good, all right, next we'll go out to the side. So I'm gonna start with my right leg kicking. So we're just tapping out to the side. It doesn't have to be a really big kick, just a tiny kick, almost like you're tapping your toe, and come back. Still trying to stand up nice and tall. Sometimes we want to hunch over because it's easier. That's not using the muscles we want to use. These little movements, if we do them correctly, we should feel quite a little burn. I'm feeling it mostly on the outside of my hip. You may also feel it in the leg that's doing all the weight stabilization. Good, let's switch legs. Good, now we're gonna tap back. So same thing, up nice and tall, belly in tight. And we're just tapping back behind us and then coming back to neutral. Really squeeze with that glute muscle, keeping the quad engaged and tapping back behind us. All of these muscles are super important, as you guys know, to help us stay balanced and strong. Good, let's switch. So left leg back now. Good, all right, let's have a seat in the chair. How are we feeling? Good? All right, good. So we're gonna sit up nice and tall, working on those quad muscles again. So we're gonna pull that belly button in towards our spine. So that's nice and tight here. Just make sure you're still breathing. That doesn't mean to hold your breath. I sometimes have a problem with that. And we're gonna kick straight out, nice and slow and controlled. Really squeezing and engaging that quad muscle again, helping our knees out by strengthening those muscles. Try not to lean back and use the backrest. We want to hold ourselves up. Good, let's switch legs. Nice and slow. You can even hold it at the top for a second or two and come back down. I have a tendency to try to rush through things. Have to remind myself sometimes, the slower the better. Good, just a few more. Good, all right, we'll finish up our strengthening before we move into our flexibility. So we're gonna scoot a little bit forward in the chair, do everyone's favorite sit to stands. So you can either cross your arms here, you can leave them at your sides, whatever you prefer. And we're going to power through our heels with our weight in our heels and stand up squeeze our glutes at the top and back down. Good. Great job. You guys make these look easy. Good, we'll do 2 more. Great job. All right, let's have a seat in the chair. We'll get into our stretches. So I'm gonna cross my right leg over my left. You guys know if that's not comfortable, we can go down at the shin. But we're trying to stretch this piriformis muscle back here. So you can lean forward if you need to feel it a little more. As we know, flexibility and balance go hand in hand. So we worked those muscles, worked our balance, now we got to stretch them out. Good, let's switch. Same thing, leaning forward if you need to feel it a little bit more. Good, let's bring that leg down. Move to our hamstrings. So I'm gonna put my right leg out straight, left leg can stay bent. And we're gonna slide our hand down our shin. Go as far as you feel a stretch. We don't want it to be painful. So wherever that is for you, we're just gonna hold it there. Good, let's switch, left leg. Same thing, slide down where you feel a stretch. We don't want it to be sharp and painful. Good, let's come back up. We'll do our side bend stretch, so don't lean against the back of the chair again. I'm gonna use my left arm to anchor on the side of the chair and then bend towards the left with my right arm. Should feel a stretch kind of up your side, maybe a little bit in your upper back or shoulder area. Good, let's go to the other side. Good, I'm back. Good, other side one more time. Awesome, shake it out a little. And then we'll scoot to the right side of our chair, do our quad / hip flexor stretch. So left leg is in front. You can hold on, make sure your chair feels pretty stable. Right leg is pointed, or your knee is pointed down to the ground, almost like a 90-degree ankle. If that hurts, don't go as deep. We're looking to stretch the inside of our hip and a little bit of our quad in this leg too, depending on where you're tight. Good, let's switch. Left side of the chair. Now your right leg is gonna be in front, left leg back, right knee pointed down towards the ground. You can anchor your arm on the side of the chair. Find that spot where you feel a good stretch. Feeling it in your hip flexor, maybe a little bit in your quad. Sit up nice and tall. Good, we can come out of that one and stand up. Let's move to our calf stretch. So you can use a wall to lean against or the chair, whatever you feel the best stretch with, but you're basically just gonna put your foot up on a wall or the ring of the chair and kind of lean forward. You should feel it all up in your calf. This is one of my favorites. Good, and switch. Good, shake it out. Next, we'll do our crossbody stretch with our arms. So I'm gonna take my right arm, cradle it with my left, and just give it a little tug. Keep those shoulders nice and loose. Good, and switch. Good, we'll finish up with some shoulder rolls. So roll your shoulders forward, nice and slow. Bring them up towards your ears and then pull back. Good, and switch directions. Good, and we'll take a deep breath in, arms up. And exhale. Arms up, inhale. Down and exhale. All right, good job, everybody. How are we feeling?